Man, probably a fun fact on me is that I like to read. I like to read. That's a lost art nowadays. Oh, my great uncle is Jesse Owens. He won 4 gold medals in 1936.
I always want to leave people with this, man, to all the viewers and everybody out there, man. Make sure you guys finish your story. Make sure you guys finish your journey because somebody's going to need it.
Yeah. All you got to do is push the back button. That's all you got to do is push the back signal.
Try not to think about the future too much so you can maximize the now.
Who's your favorite rap artist?
Man, to be honest, it's crazy. Tupac always been my number one, right? Like he got me through so much stuff, but Lil Wayne has been in the modern day.
I said, what does it really take? What does it really take to be great, Drew? And he looked at me and he was like, you really want to know? And he was like, to be honest, everything you did to get here, you need to be consistent times 10.
Happy Monday, everybody out there doing the day. Welcome to the O.T.S.B.S show. 4 days away from the weekend. Back at it like we're mad at it. But before we can do any of that stuff, we got to bring the man. I think he's coming from a great place, the world-class STWF Studios out of Ag Town. My main man with the plan, Uncle Leroy.
Hey, what's that? This your dude, Uncle Leroy. Hold on, wait. I'm in this thing jamming. Let me stop the record. But it's your dude, Uncle Leroy. Don't say the Leroy without the junior. Kicking it live from STWF Studios in Arlington, Texas. And man, we got the O.T.S.B.S show today, man. The show where we talk about the bull sniggerty in sports. But before we get this thing started, man, we got to reach where up there, way to the home of the Boston Baked Bean and the Boston Globe, and get our man too on the show, man.
Yeah, call me. What's going on? Hope everybody's getting to it.
All right. So we already got fellas tapped in, man. What's down with you, Pete? Did it? Why? I see.
Washington trash.
Hey, you know he takes shots every chance he get on the
damn.
Yes, man, appreciate you tapping in. It's been a while, man. So appreciate you tapping in.
You know some bull crap.
How's everybody Monday?
Bull crap.
Monday, man.
Already?
It's rough.
Bull crap, man. And it stays back to yesterday. I took a nap. I woke up, and I was the last one to probably, on the face of this earth that Bill Russell had passed, man. So want to give condolences to Bill Russell, his family. Crazy loss for not only New England, but for the world. He was a pioneer, icon. We could talk about the statistics in basketball, the 11 championships, he coached and played at the same time. We could talk about all that, but what he preached to the world and gave back to the world, the best quality about him. And it's just a terrible and sad situation.
Facts. But, before we get the show started, we see the chat's already tapped in. They're already blowing up. But, our shows are interactive. So if y'all got something to say, type it up, hit enter, and we'll post it and reply back to it. But, before we get this thing started, let's see who's tapped in with it. We see Boston. Boston in the building, man. All right. You brought your people. I got to play that little Boosie. You brought your people with you?
Yeah, man. I like Lil Boosie, you know what I'm saying? A few people in Massachusetts rock a Lil Boosie. I'm telling you, a lot of down south music is played up east, man, so we be gigging, you know what I'm saying? We getting it, All
right. So look, definitely tell us who's tapped in. We already got Boston. Definitely want to see his Dallas. Dallas tapped in. We got Chris. Drop your city, man. Let us know who's tapped in. What city you in? Let us know. So how was your Monday, Coach Lee?
Man, it was a rough one, bro. It was a rough one, man. Had a little bit too much this weekend. Shout out to the Hat Out friend. We did a damn thing out there Saturday. Family Union, we turned up. New Boston in the house.
Oh, wait, hold on. We got VA. What's that? VA in the building, you heard me? I see you. 703. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to tell you, I went to Virginia, Fort Lee, out there in Virginia. I forget where it was, but my hotel charged me an entertainment fee when I checked out. I said, I ain't had no big booty strippers in my room. How you charging me an entertainment fee? And it was just like, that's just something that they charge out there. So let me know what's happening if y'all ever got charged this entertainment fee out there in Virginia.
Charge y'all an entertainment fee? Did they give y'all any entertainment in the hotel stay?
I mean, I was on there on a business trip, so but it was just attached. Like they say that's just something that the city does. So I was like, well, I'm from New Orleans and I've never heard of that. And you know what I'm saying? You can get entertainment just by walking to church, man. So I don't know, but definitely let me know about that.
I went to first time I went to Orlando, Florida, you know, they charge all these type of taxes and then want gratuity. So it's kind of like, damn, you want to take all my taxes, then you want to tip on top of a tip, then you want me to give you a tip, and all these taxes. So ultimately, how much am I really paying for this item and or drink? You know, whatever.
Facts. Thank you. But look, you know what? That's Lil Webby. So you know what I'm saying? We want to see who's tapped in with us. So you know, let's see. Hey, who people with us? You know what I'm saying? So right now, Boston is killing it, you know. So that's my hometown VA. We racing y'all ass. All right, Facebook user, let us know who you is. But all right, we definitely got that. So we got Georgia in the building.
Bulldog season coming up. No sliding on SEC style, you know. Shout out to the Cavs Virginia too, you know what I'm saying? Even though BC gonna beat them this year, go Boston College. You know?
Oh, that's Bumpy in the building.
What's up?
Yeah, you know, look,
and then tell him where he at.
Hey, look, there it is. The walls in the building. You heard me? Look, I got my people with me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, it's up there today, baby. But yeah, I mean, so tell us about your dismal day today, Coach Lee.
Man, just start a new format at work. I feel like you know what I'm saying? What Rockwell said, sometimes you feel like somebody's watching you.
That's always, bro.
Man, they got paper trails on us now, man.
Facts.
They said, we're going to make sure you're earning your cheddar.
That is true. So, I mean, you know, my day was awesome sauce. You know, for those that don't know, today was the first day of business for the studios, you know, so you know, it's definitely a great experience. You know, y'all should tap in. You know, we are Arlington, Texas #1 podcast and photography studio. So, you know, if y'all want to shoot a podcast, learn how to do a podcast, you want to do a commercial, y'all can definitely tap in with us. And if y'all think y'all cute, you know, want a quick selfie, you know, we offer selfie booths for $15, 20 minutes. You can have your own photo shoot with your phone. So y'all definitely, if y'all want to become a star, definitely check us out, STWF Studios, Arlington, Texas, #1 podcast and photography studio.
Soon to be rapper of the year as well. 2-Point Walk will be in that studio one of these days. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, well, you come with your own, you know.
He got his own ringtone home.
Right, exactly.
That's what's up, man.
All right, so you know, definitely, you know, like I said earlier, shows are interactive, so you know, the chats are blowing up already. So hey, if y'all just jumping in, y'all jump in our chat, let us know how y'all feel about what we say. You know, my job is to piss y'all off, so hey, have fun. But on Monday, this is the O.T.S.B.S show where we talk about the bull sniggity in sports, and today we should have a lot of stuff to talk about, starting with someone's, you know, Patrick, he said they thought you was QB1 Watson. Do
you want to be QB1 Watson or QB1 Cosby, as we mentioned earlier before the show started? You know what I'm saying? Where do you go?
Hey, say that. We have a segment for that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to, you know, so look, like I said, we got a lot of great topics. So Coach Lee, what are we talking about to begin with?
Well, right off the bat, we're going to talk about damage control. So as everybody knows, I think it was last week, the one QB1 for the Arizona Cardinals got a massive contract extension. But at that particular time, it's since been removed. But at that particular time, there was a study at home stipulation in there, a requirement of an X amount of hours of home study. They've since then removed it since it went public. But as we like to say around this here parts, man, the damage is damage control, but the damage may have already been done. So how are you feeling with Kyler Murray, knowing that the team was like, you got to study a little bit more, man?
I mean, do we know anything about the contract? I mean, because I know the contract entail they had 4 hours of weekly film study. So that was that one that one caveat that that amendment that they made to his money. I mean, they gave him a pretty good they gave him a pretty good salary, but I mean they put that one stipulation that he has to have 4 hours of weekly film study. Now we posted that in our Facebook group, Sports Talk with Friends, and shout out to Dante. Dante, he's the former Dante Jones. He's a former linebacker,
Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears, right? He said that is a minimum. He's
Yeah.
like that is a minimum, bro. Like 4 hours. He was like, you should take that and run with it. But
so it was 4 hours a week, right?
Yes, 4 hours a week.
They said that Peyton Manning studied 40 hours a week.
Shut the front door. But hey, man, you know what? I wanted to post in the group earlier, because Peyton Manning is from New Orleans, Louisiana, and shout out to Bill Russell, who's from Louisiana. So all goats come from Louisiana. There it is. Drop the mic. There it is.
The Bumpy says, why give him that money if you know he's not doing his job? He's getting paid to do his job.
I mean, so hold on. Why give him that money if you know he's not doing his job? In what regards?
I think the extension. So his contract extension that he got was a $230.5 million contract extension.
Okay.
5 years, 230. It's quite a bit of cheddar. But if you put that stipulation in there, you really putting yourself between a rock and a hard place.
How? I mean, because it's
when
you saying rock and hard place, you talking about Arizona Cardinals or Kyler Murray's camp?
Arizona Cardinals. Murray, he got his bread. He cool.
How? I mean, because there's a stipulation on his bread. He has to do this, bro.
Supposedly they've taken it out since then.
Yeah, I mean, they said yes, they've taken it out, but that was what they said. And honestly, let's get to the question. So Bumpy, he says, why give him that money if you know he's not doing his job? I mean, because you got to save face, like my grandma used to say. You know what I'm saying? It's like you do things sometimes to save face. Like, a fat woman puts on a girdle, she wants to save face. No one to talk about it. I mean, that's how I go. But you know what I'm saying? Like that was saving face from the organization. I mean, because you got to look at it. Like Kyler Murray's draft class, they had some good quarterbacks. All these quarterbacks are getting money. So how is it that you're going to say, hey, this guy's our leader and he's not getting his money?
That's true.
So, I definitely think that, that was just a ploy on the Arizona Cardinals to show that, hey, you know what? Y'all can come and play for us because, they just lost Connor. They just lost Fitzgerald. They lost a lot of good players. So, they're definitely trying to land some decent players coming back.
I would agree. But, we talked about this last year when we were talking about Kyler Murray. Something was going on. And we talked about the point that his stats in the second half, every year, they've declined. That lets me know that defense got film on him for the year. He not studying, the nuances, and he not exposing what they trying to show him.
And, honestly, and shout out to the media for driving this because, what I'm saying, like I tell my son, it's like, you know what? Hey, I'll whip your ass because I love you. You know what I'm saying? Out of protection. The police are doing it out of correction. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to control you. So how about, let's say the Arizona Cardinals may be coming from a good place. Maybe they know that he needs this extra push. So the media made this is a really bad thing.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what the media is. The media against the team. When it came out, I'm like, okay, we heard Kyler Murray talk. He doesn't really study film like that. And he's more of a competitor. He wants to go on the field and play. And hey, I'm going to shout the young man out because he's in his first few years in the league. And hey, man, you want to kind of, don't you in the business, you want to, along with the wave, kind of what you've been doing to get there. But at some point, you have to do your job, as Bumpy says, so you have to study film, get the nuances, like Coach said, and be able to put that in your game. But then the media drags it out as, and then Ron Moon gets on the airwaves and says, oh, this is like a slap in the face to African Americans and all that. No, it's more of what you're seeing with the owners trying to get control back to their game. You know what I'm saying? Because these players are getting money everywhere. And hey, if you got to study 4 hours minimum, What? Like you said, I'm taking that road with it. 4 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
Hour
And, and that goes back to a statement that I made. Shout out to you, Will. I asked y'all. I said, you know what? These athletes get paid too much money, and like, what makes an athlete be, able to get that much money? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it the talent? Or, because me, I would pay for leadership. And that's what I'm saying. And to this is indicative of my point. Kyler Murray has great talent, but he's lacking the leadership. And that's what the Arizona Cardinals need. You know what I'm saying? Because, and it's funny because Kyler Murray, he got on the media and said, hey, you know what? It's an insult for the audience to think that, hey, and the fans to think that he can actually get this far in his career off of mere talent. So what do you think about that? Like, do you think he got that far off of talent?
Yeah,
yes, most of the time. He probably been doing it since Pee Wee ball.
At this point,
pure talent.
Yep, at this point, absolutely doing it just off talent. And a lot of athletes that get to this point in their careers, right now, do that. But then the professional way and the way professionals play, it makes you change and do different things as your career goes on. Either positive or in a negative. We're going to talk about Kyler Murray in a positive light. We hope that he improves on study film. We hope that he goes on the field second half of the season this year and balls out, because that's mainly what the clause in your contract is too. You have to study the second half of film, not only in games, but in seasons as well. So, like I said, me personally, when Arizona put this out, I laughed at it because I'm like, yeah, you should. You put a clause in the contract with somebody that you're signing. They should be able to follow some type of rules. Not like they said, hey, come in the house at 6 o'clock. Coming us at 5 o'clock.
I mean, someone says that, Will, he said, wait, hold on, let's get his comment back up here. He said it exposed Kyler because it shows his team doesn't feel he was studying. No. The film shows that he wasn't studying, because we brought it up, like, teams are adjusting. You know what I'm saying? And if he's not able to read the coverage from, he's an NFL player, and shout out to Bumpy. He said, yep, it's a different level, and that's the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Every level gets more difficult, though. Exactly, to that point. So now he's to that point, and all the fans see, like, hey, how is it that we can't get to the playoffs? How is it that every second half they lose? Now, they had one of the most explosive wide receiver corps in the NFL, and they get shut down in the second half. So I don't think it was the actual team. It's not indicative of the team. It's exposing himself, because he's, once again, Kyler Murray, he's a baseball player. He plays, he's a baseball fan. And he also has this whole gaming piece. So, I mean, he has a lot of distractions. And that was my point. It's like, hey, these teams get behind these players paying all this money for what? What do we expect of them? I think it was a good thing.
Well, I mean, you know me, I'm a numbers guy. Let me shut y'all something out real fast. So I'm looking at Kyler's stats over for his career, which is he's going into year 4 right now. But for the first 3 years, we're gonna look at his numbers from December, because we probably all agree that December is nut cutting time. That's when you're gonna make you push towards the playoffs.
Something the Cowboys know nothing about.
We ain't sure all that.
Oh, sorry.
We ain't sure all that. Anyhow, back to reality. For his career, he's played 13 games in December. His average yards is 6.8 yards, which isn't that bad, 238. But this is what sticks out to me: 17 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 14 fumbles, with a rating of 83.9 in December. That's not playoff football,
right?
Does he trust his team? Does he trust his teammates? And I looked at it too as a sample, because he's a fabulous player. And it's not like they go out there and lose games by 15, 20 in December. So ultimately, it's but Arizona has a better team. It's like kind of Lamar Jackson-ish, where now he's putting everything on him. And those are why the numbers are like that. When he's clearly in people's sense, probably a better quarterback than Lamar, he should be able to find the targets and be able to get down the field and things like that. But for some reason, it is pressure. Pressure is the reason why Kyler Murray does not get over the hump in December, January.
Pressure make the pipe burst.
I mean, hey, you know what they say? Baseball is is a thinking man sport. I mean, baseball is a thinking man sport. So I don't think that, he lacks the intellect for it, and shout out to Patrick's statement. He says they get paid all that money hold on. They get paid all that money because of the actual lack of talented players. That makes sense.
It's
that
not
makes sense.
an intermediate. It's that's why if you get you a quote unquote franchise quarterback, you got to try to hold on to him.
And that's why I feel that the Arizona made the play that they did, because, if you look at it, he's the only guy coming back. They don't have anymore, they don't have much talent. James Conner, he's gone. So, that makes sense. I like that. And that goes to the point that Lamar Jackson should be getting paid a lot of money because he's the most talented player on that team.
Yeah.
So
said he's playing hero ball down the stretch. I think I saw that it was a Monday night game last year where they lost bad to somebody like to Chicago, somebody that they should have beat. And he looked bad.
Playing real. He played down the stretch against Dallas in the game where they stretched the game against Dallas. I didn't think Dallas should be back in that game. He kind of played hero ball and got Dallas back in the game.
You should say nothing about Kyler Murray and Dallas. Because Kyler Murray says he owned the Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
He almost gave it away.
Hey, I'm just saying that. You should not put Dallas
in nothing. Hey, Patrick, it does sound like Romo. In case you didn't know, I am not a Romo fan. He is Danny White 2.0. We're going to keep it moving.
But, I want to say what, so guess what? Recently, and this is indicative of Kyler Murray, and, hence, I believe the actual team, the Arizona Cardinals team made that clause in his contract. Do y'all know Kyler Murray's tested positive for COVID-19?
I saw that.
He's not practicing for the next 5 days.
Agreed. Right, and that shows his lack of dedication. He needs to be pushed. I mean, because right now you're the most important piece of this team. You got new receivers, new back, and you need to get some continuity with these players. But what you do, you go out and get COVID-19. So he's definitely not setting the tone of that leader, and that's and like I said, and that's what I think that organizations should actually give people money, like the Ray Lewis. Like Ray Lewis had talent and he had great leadership abilities, but. That's enough of my soapbox on Kyler Murray.
What do y'all think about AJ? We got a question. What do y'all think about AJ Green?
Think about what? 10 years ago? 10 years ago.
He's a rap.
Like AJ Green. There was a time in mind where people would say AJ Green is decline, and I would vouch for AJ Green. But then, AJ Green couldn't hold his side of the deal with me because he kept getting hurt. And AJ Green is just an average guy now. But, hey, AJ can have his few string of games, his few string of receptions. But it's just nothing now. You know what I'm saying? Right. He's one of the guys.
He's a shell of his former self. Patrick said, could you also blame the coach/offensive coordinator bad play calling? Yes. His head coach should be on the hot seat this year with that gimmicky ass offense. Everybody don't call him. Yes.
Wait, coach, yes. What?
You think he's on the hot seat?
I think so.
Wow. I don't think so.
Yeah, Will said AJ Green's washed up. Agreed. Like the last time AJ Green was hot was when he did that caught the ball, did a backwards flip in the end zone. That was the last time AJ Green was relevant.
Yeah, right. It's been a minute. I probably still had a hairline.
That was funny. But I mean, so, like with this whole situation about Kyler Murray, and everyone wants to post, and it's funny, like nowadays, everybody wants to post their comments about how people get their money. Like everyone's focused on, Kyler Murray got this one caveat, and they even start playing a race card. I was like, really? Like how? What in the heck, Kyler Murray?
What do you mean? In what aspect?
That, what? Well, no, say what you about to say, too.
Warren Moon, one quote he had mentioned that it was a slap in the face to African Americans with the clause in the contracts, and brings us back into basically saying that the black quarterbacks, when they were growing up, wasn't able to be smart enough to play the QB position, wasn't able to study the position, wasn't smart enough to play the position, and it just overt. And that's what initially got the Cardinals to flip the contract and say, we're not going to put this clause in it.
Right.
Is that fair to the Cardinals?
No, it's not fair. It's not fair at all. But of course, somebody from the old times are gonna think that way. It's not happening to any other quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like
Grabby ain't got that clause in his
he did
contract.
that out there last year. He threw the ammo out last year, Kyler Murray, and basically stated that he doesn't watch film like that. Arizona remembered it, said we're gonna sign you to a contract, but hey, we need you to watch more film, man. It's 4 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? That's an hour show every day. You know, and Kyler, you know, that happened, and Kyler felt it was not good, and then the media felt like it wasn't good, so they stood by the player. You know, it's a player's game nowadays. That's what happened.
And yeah, you know, and it's crazy, like 4 hours. So, you know, let's get Will. He says, you think Kyler don't study now? Imagine changing his offensive scheme. He's been running this scheme since college with the same coach. Exactly. So leads me to the next question that Patrick says: easier to get rid of Kingsbury than Kyler. So,
oh, man. Well, you might have changed my mind. I think Cliff probably gonna get fired.
That's what I'm saying. Hey,
Coach, I think I'm gonna have to agree with that. I think Cliff, because at the end of the day, if they sign him to this money, he takes this money. The clause is out, but who cares about the clause anymore? He takes the money, and if they fire Cliff, what can he? I mean, he can demand a trade, but how's that really gonna go? Figuring he just signed this deal.
So let me ask you this. I'm gonna throw a couple of names out there for you. Let me know if you think we heard anything about them not studying. Cam Newton.
Yes.
Russell Wilson.
No.
Geno Smith.
No.
I can't take that guy seriously.
No.
Mike Vick.
No.
So there's just some random names out there. To me, it goes back.
Random, they were all black.
Well, that was for a purpose. So I don't see the part of, you know, I have to disagree with Warren Moon saying that this is a slap to the face. This is actually a detriment to the work ethic of Kyler Murray. He owns that narrative. If it hadn't been the issue, it never would have came out because it would have been non-existent.
Absolutely. Jamarcus Russell would be the reason why blacks would now get that in their clause. It would be Jamarcus Russell.
Even though Jamarcus was terrible, he had mental stuff going on. You can't help that. But from a physical standpoint, he had the tools. But it was known that he didn't study. That position, you cannot just go out there and just wing it. You have to be able to check down. You have to go to the line of scrimmage. But then again, I got a question for you. Because of the offensive scheme that Kyler has ran, which, you know, we were privy to see it here in high school and college. A lot of times he goes up to the line, he looks over to the side, gets the call from the coach, then calls the play. Maybe he don't know how to read defenses.
And you know what goes on? Because now that goes back to the whole statement about black quarterbacks. Because most black quarterbacks are run-first quarterbacks. And that's what he does.
Oh, he runs very well. He runs very well.
Yeah, y'all give him that. But, you know,
and
that's the stigma on black quarterbacks. You know, and I think, you know, and that's just like, yeah, that's even the stigma on black, you know, some, you know, just black people in the black culture. Like, hey, once we get something, we're not prepared for it.
That's when we're supposed to go harder.
Facts. But, you know, instead we play the race card and we go get out and do a march. So, I mean, you know, I feel some bullshit coming up.
They are victimized.
And that's the role that we play. And that's why we never come up, man. Right there. We always playing a victim. See, look, you about to get me myself.
It's a thing for you to watch tonight. Both of you guys. After the show, I'll give you the link, man. Oh my God. You would.
Oh, don't send me no link. Oh my gosh. If you can't get me a book,
no, this is something no, it goes deeper. It goes into the Deshaun Watson that happened earlier. The Deshaun Watson saga earlier. It comes all to Yes, I'm gonna give y'all the link after the show. And everybody else too. I'll send you the guys the link too. Anybody that's want the link.
You sound like
we might have to talk about that.
Yo,
but in the meantime,
it's not a TikTok link. Is it a TikTok link?
No, it's not a TikTok link.
Okay, thank you. You got some credibility.
But Kyler, get your ass in there and study, man. Show these folks that you deserve to be in that position. You deserve the money that you got, and you there to uplift your franchise and bring a dub out there, man. So handle your business. But Warren Moon, I love you. You're one of my favorites of all time. But on Mondays, we got something for you, man. It's called some bull.
Man, I'm telling you, that really gets me going, man. I really do enjoy that.
You have too much fun with that, man.
Yeah, I do. I don't know if it's the dancing poop emoji that goes or is it the song, you know? I mean,
all the above. We're going to take our first break for the night. We'll be back in about 15, 20. Y'all hold on to your butts.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's cornerback Delvin Brew here from your favorite team, New Orleans Saints. I just want to go ahead on and give a shout out to STWF Media for allowing me to come on and talk about my testimony, my story, and also talk fantasy football. I just want to say thank you, man, for the honor. I appreciate you, man. Y'all make sure y'all tune in tonight at 7:30 Central Time. Bro Show out.
Back up in this bad boy.
Yeah, definitely shout out to D Bro, man. He's out there in Canada, doing some things, but y'all got to check the group out. I shared a post that he made out there in the stadium, and I don't know, he must have lost his New Orleans move because I don't know what move that was, but it was totally off beat. So, D Bro, we want you to get your dance beat back, your New Orleans swagger back, man. You've been out there in Canada
we're gonna
too
ask
long.
Sean. Remember that's in this group. We're gonna ask Sean what kind of dance is relevant in Canada. We want to know.
Definitely, y'all go check out D Bro because and we need answers. We need to know what was the name of that dance he was doing.
Poutine dance.
All right, but so all right, so we got here. So Will, during the break, so we got Will. He says, "I'm with Leroy. We got to get out of this victim role as a people. It's killing us." Facts, bro. Facts. So we got here Bumpy. He says Kyler should have played baseball.
I think he should have too.
I
look
agree.
at the numbers, but you gotta look at it too. You gotta look at this right now. He's right now, 5-year deal? We can say if he wants to cut loose on it, we'll say he can cut loose in 3. Give or take. Say give him 3. We see these contracts in baseball right now. We see a few people rejecting deals for over $300, $400 million. We got a guy in Aaron Judge that's in New York right now hitting home runs. They're not testing him like they, was testing others, and he's looking for a big deal. You just seen the Atlanta Brave today to sign for $212 million. So Kyler definitely is looking at baseball. He's a fan of it. So of course he's looking at that number like, maybe I can get that. I can be the first guy in history. I can beat Bo Jackson. I can make more than Bo Jackson.
Deion Sanders did that too.
Oh, Deion Sanders, in terms of the money. He could be the first athlete.
It's all about the money.
His sake and Kyler's sake, he might be trying to catch 100 million bucket bags from the NFL and the MLB. You don't know.
Hey, appreciate you for tapping in there, Chris, man. Have a good one, man. Appreciate you. So Bumpy, he said, my fault. So Patrick, he says baseball is 100% guaranteed money. Get that 10-year deal.
Yep. It get every dime.
Those 10-year deals are deadly though in baseball, man.
That's straight money.
Oh wait, that's over. That's a 80 season game. I mean 80 game season. That's not easy. That's not an easy bag.
That's what I'm saying. That's not an easy bag. And you've seen these 10-year contract for players some point come to a stall at some point, or the decline in players. Like,
wait, hold up. Stop the record. Darrell have arrived. I mean,
he kicked in the door.
yeah, 162 games. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. 162 games. But thanks. I was corrected by the chat. Appreciate y'all. Patrick, 162 games, and Bumpy, 162 games. So that is true. So Will says, ask the Mets. They're still paying for. For real, that will always be Bobby Bedelia. Yes.
He was a month out. Last month, the beginning of July, was Bobby Bedelia day. You know what I'm saying? As we know, the Mets, gave him a contract. They went out of the contract, but did they not know that they had to still pay this man up until what? I think it's 2027?
Yeah.
28?
That's the Daryl says Bobby finessed the man. Like he should be on the bottle of finesse. Like for real, they should change that to him. But Bumpy says it's July 1st.
Yeah, July 1st, last month. Yeah, said July. I said last month.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't,
Bobby Bonilla Day.
Facts. You know what? And shout out to Facebook group Sports Talk with Friends. We change the cover every year for him. And you know what? Why don't give a shout out? Definitely give a shout out to Sports Talk and Smack and the Watson. What? How you say that?
Juan Austin Sports Chat. It was the Austin and Wash show until one of our fellow members in Quick Bagley, had the UFC up live, and then we had to change our group name around and all that stuff. It's okay, man. I like telling the story. It's funny. You know what I'm saying? So we here now. It actually brings us a better following with what happened. Honestly, it keeps the fake out.
That's true. Hey, I know something about the fake being in a group, so yeah. All right, so what we got up for the next segment, man? I'm all ready, kid, ready.
All right, next segment, we're gonna call this. I'm asking more of a question, but is it doomed before it starts? This is in reference to the Oklahoma Boomer Sooners' new head coach, Brent Venables. He was recently the assistant head coach, defense coordinator, and linebacker coach for Clemson. So he's got a little bit of pedigree. But he came out with a statement that says he doesn't want recruits to commit to his university to play until they're ready to get married. Kind of.
I can see where it's coming from, but I just was playing. I was by a friend's house, and he's from Oklahoma, and I'm playing dominoes with this guy, and the guy had actual flashcards for dominoes. I was like, bro, where are you from? Like, the dominoes weren't the regular size, like they were about this big. I was like, bro, these are flashcards. Like, you can't tell me you didn't get these pack of dominoes from the but it's not condoms in the restroom. Like, like this, bro, I swear, no exaggeration, bro. I swear it was no. I had to tell him stop that. But he's from Oklahoma, so I mean, that was like, and I was like, bro, like y'all don't. Cause first I said y'all don't play dominoes, y'all just canoodle, y'all just pull catfish out of holes out there. But yeah. Needless to say, anything Oklahoma besides basketball, is an epic fail. We seen the wagon get ran over by itself. So people fall off the wagon. So I don't know, but we still got people chiming in. So appreciate it. Yeah, Anthony, we missed you, man. Like, where have you been? We got commitment issues, man. You can't just be flip-flopping. So we got Anthony's tapped in. So you want a high school student to get married before committed to his college. So he's talking about the guy. He's replying to your comment, Coach Lee. So what do you think about that?
No. This is college, man. It's college. A lot of dudes go through all 4 or 5 years and they still don't grow up. Now, don't get me wrong. I had some friends and teammates in college that were married. They, they was a little bit more responsible than us. We was wilding. But at the same time, though, man, you might turn away a lot of talent. Now them dudes like, hey, married. I'm just trying to play ball, go to the league.
I remember a topic about NIL. So where I'm driving at. I'm just leveraging because, like I said, I understand what this guy's talking about. He wants committed players. He doesn't want cats that trying to get this NIL deal.
Commitment players. He wants commitment. But I
thank you, Bumpy. That's what I'm saying, right? He's like, I don't think that's what he meant.
That's not what he meant.
He wanted committed players. He doesn't want people that's there for an NIL deal.
No, he doesn't want people that want to go switch schools after 2 years with all this movement.
NIL deal, bro.
No, the movement was even before the NIL money started coming in.
That was because of playing time. One question
for this.
Now it's about a bag.
He's going to be committed in the player.
What?
Is he going to be committed in the player?
Your child ain't committed in you. Your church ain't committed in you. Your parents ain't committed in you. Come on.
You see what happened last year. Didn't the same Oklahoma team last year have problems with their QB and then sat one QB and then the other QB started playing?
No, like I told you, if you think someone like an organization is committed to you, no. Especially if you go into a winning organization. Guess what they're committed to? Winning. A business
That's why I like to transfer
making money.
And Coach could that coach can decide all of a sudden, you know what? I want to go try my luck in NFL. This kid that you recruited sat in his living room, told that kid's parents that you're gonna make him the best player, student that he can be, but then you dip on him. That's why I believe these players should be able to move around. I love the transfer portal.
Now I'm a fan of that. I just don't like this NIL deal. And you know what? And this is the system shifting. That's what I'm saying. Like, because the coach, he's speaking from the system perspective, from the organization's perspective. That's what they're doing. So what Daryl? What Daryl got?
Players transfer schools to better their careers. Great example, Cam Newton.
Yeah. Yeah, and shout out to Devontae Kincaid, who was an Ole Miss star. He was expected to do great things in the SEC. He got hurt and he came to Grambling. Y'all see that? Y'all see the correlation? And y'all can actually check out his past interview on our channel. Thank you.
Man, hey, he sees that Oklahoma too is about to move conferences. You know, maybe that's the reason why he wants to have strong committed play, because he knows in the SEC they're gonna get strong committed players over at those schools.
Those are big name players, man. Those guys are not committed like that. You know, they're committed to playing time and, you know what I'm saying, and get money. Shout out to Bumpy. He says, like, and this is my stance. He said, I like the NIL deal, but there should have better parameters in place. That's my whole thing.
That's
my whole thing. And see, like, pretty much, hey, 4 hours of weekly film study.
They're doing that.
They do that already.
They're doing that already. The coaches got them in the room sitting all like a college campus class and saying, hey, we're going to study this. We studying this right now.
What did you just say? What's the first thing you said? Coaches have.
Coaches have.
Oh, okay. So that's not Bumpy. That's Kawan Bagley. No, you say that's the system, the coaches. So we're awarding the players for the commitment of the coaches and the staff.
Yeah. It's college, man. You know what I'm saying? College is like people love. College is the last real thing before really adulthood. Even though you're in college, you feel like you're an adult, you're still a kid. College is kind of where if you're there every day, you're paying attention, or even just going to class, you can get the attention of the teachers and all that stuff. That's how I feel. Now, the NFL is different. Kyler Murray can go do whatever he wants. He's not around his coach 24/7. He doesn't have to report the coach's office every 20 minutes.
And that's the whole point. He had bad work ethics in college. So what do you think is going? What do you think is just going to transfer into professionals? Bad work ethic.
No, it's different.
What?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bad work ethic in the NFL would get your ass cut.
And unless you are Kyler Murray, and that's my point. So what do you think? With Kyler Murray, that's what they're going to say.
Unless you're a star,
and they're shifting blank because now they're covering themselves. Now they're going to have something. But we're going off segment. So what we got here? So the Facebook user says Chicago QB started at Georgia before he ended up at Ohio State. Joe Burrow started at Ohio State before he transferred to LSU.
Exactly. Protocol, baby.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that was the best thing they put in place.
Here's my question. So Venables, I consider him as an outsider. I've had the unique perspective of being in between Oklahoma and UT. It's a convoluted thing. I like both teams. Grew up a UT fan. Well, became a UT fan. Hold on. Became a UT fan, but I got a little bit of allegiance to OU because my cousin was a Heisman Trophy winner. So I gotta have that aspect leaning over to that side. But
wait, no, I'm more concerned who the cousin is now. You trying to tell me about who's the cousin?
Billy Sims.
Oh, nice. All right.
Straight out of Hooks, Texas.
The crowd likes that, man.
Is he let you touch the trophy?
Nah, he ain't got it no more, man. He had to sell the trophy. But OU always did well in an extent better than UT did because they committed to those players, but they bought a certain type of player in there. I don't think he needed to say that, which lets me know I don't think he's fully understand where he's at yet. OU players, they generally go there and they stay. And they usually get like 3 and 4 stars or whatever and coach those kids up. Those are the type of characteristics they want in those kids. Whereas all the blue chips go to UT, they go down there, they ask the club, they have doing it, and they don't produce like OU did. But I think
finish.
But I think he just needs to sit back, understand where he's at, and don't turn kids away before they have a chance to come there to him.
So now watch this. So why do you think he was talking to those kids. He's a coach. He knows, he knows the data. So maybe he's talking to the other kids.
Well, you got to think the situation he just came in, where Lincoln Riley took some of his players with him. But then again, those are players. I think one of them was from the Baltimore area. They weren't local kids. Local kids, I consider are kids from Texas, Louisiana, OU, Kansas, areas like that. I mean, Oklahoma and Kansas. Those are the kids that they normally try to recruit.
All right. So now, mind you. So where does Venerable, whatever his guy name, Brent, where does he come from? Which college?
Clemson.
Exactly. So you don't think he's going to bring that same recruiting? He has recruits coming from there, similarly to what Deion Sanders did.
But that's a double-edged sword, though. If that's the type of recruit you want, you can't complain about if they just up and transfer. That's the type of recruit. That's the type of player you bring in there.
And that's what he brings to the table with that Clemson background. He's used to those type of players, and so now he's trying to integrate that. So what we got?
Will said he had talking about Billy. He had to sell his truck because he ain't had no NIL deal.
Nice.
And that's funny.
Thanks. Like that was a good one. Like, you know what? I even got no comeback for that one.
He also says, I think he said what he said to try to gain the players' trust. I can see that narrative because coaches been leaving real quick these days, and they have.
It's true.
That's why I'm for the kids getting their bread. So I'm for the kids.
People got to show the commitment. You got to show commitment for plays.
Yes. What was the coach? Was it even though it happened in the NFL, but it just showed what type of character? Bobby Petrino left in the middle of the night.
Josh McDaniels situation where you say, "Oh, I'm gonna be the coach of this team," and the next day say, "Oh, I'm out. I'm gonna wait for the next situation. Oh, I'm out of there too." And now he in Las Vegas. Oh, if he leaves Las Vegas, they might get him before he's out of Las Vegas. So you better be careful, Josh McDaniels. You better ride or die with the Vegas, man, because you ain't Chucky.
Nah, I give him 3 years tops out there, man.
Oh wow.
He already shown he'll bounce on you, and he gonna run back to New England. Kawan said he should have gone to BYU or any other school in Utah if he wants that.
Oh, Utah.
Way up there in Utah.
Oh man, all the way up in Salt Lake. Oh man.
They ain't nothing in Salt Lake, man, but mountains and resorts.
And the Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh man, y'all guys got jokes tonight, huh? I'm like,
jokes and jokes.
I see that. Oh, wait, and sister wives. Okay, I recently found out what that was, but yeah.
Huh? Oh wow.
Yeah,
I had to think about that for a minute.
Yeah, shout out to Derek. He said sister wives out there. Oh, and sis just tapped it. Hey, sis. Wait, look. Sis like, hold up. Ain't no sister wives having it here, Flair.
Oh, so we got transfer portal, not all good to players. Some get left out. That's true. 2021-22 transfer portal states 1 out of 12 players who transferred this year went up in the portal. The rest transferred lateral or down. 46% of the NCAA players who entered the portal this year would not play NCAA basketball in the upcoming season. So sometimes so that means that they transfer and they still.
You know why it don't matter? That don't matter because the NCAA is still going to have the Final Four, the NCAA tournament, and if those guys can't play the next year, then they'll be on the portal they'll be playing the next year. It don't matter.
But we got to Patrick. You know what? I'm gonna give you a free trial of Netflix, man. So because Patrick, he asked Will, he says multiple wives. He asked him a question. Yes. He's like, so what is Sister Wives exactly? You know what? We need to get you a free subscription to Netflix so you can get with the times. See what they're doing up there in Utah.
See, Patrick says, "Bro, better heaven give you a site to LDS. insight to LDS?
Oh, at least I got
Patty said we got Netflix. I should have known that.
So, do you think the new head coach is going to be able to cut it in the SEC, upcoming SEC move?
Yeah.
Nope.
I think it within 2 years, right? I think it's the SEC.
Nope. Mm-hmm. Nope. He ain't gonna be able to. They're gonna have a new coach by the time they get there.
Look where he come from. He has a history.
So he's talking out his ass, huh?
Is he Dabble Sweeney? Is he Dabble Sweeney?
No.
Then I don't care for him.
All right. So he's talking out his ass, and on Mondays, when you talk out your ass.
Man, that is funny. But hey, shout out to the fake P. Diddy. You can't catch this show and that type of action on Netflix. Only on Sports Talk with Friends Network.
Exactly.
So I guess we gotta take a quick break. We gotta pay some bills, man. It's a light bill. It's the first of the month, man. We got bills to pay. Gotta take a quick break. Y'all stay back. Keep the questions coming, and we'll keep coming with the heat.
Yes, sir.
What's up, world? Kyrie Robinson, man. New Orleans Saints veteran. Hey, man, make sure you guys go check out my guy, man, STWF, the media, man. Check them guys out. Y'all want to get sports talks with players, with fans, anything like that, man, go check them guys out, man. That's the place to be if you want to talk sports. Who that nation?
Last leg, you know what I'm saying? That last segment. So y'all better get in this chat, get y'all questions, and because I know y'all ain't just sit back this whole time watching us, So chat it up for us because it's our last segment. If y'all got any questions, thing y'all want to say, y'all make sure y'all get it in now. But Anthony, he says, during the break, he says transfer portal is transfer portal is an easy way for players to start without putting in the work to earn it.
I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. Depends on where you go, though. You know what I'm saying? Depends on where you go. Some people transfer, and like I said, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if people transfer, because at the end of the day, you still have to live with the situation. Even if you have to wait for the person the next year. Even if the person comes the next year and he doesn't pan out, that's on him. The transfer is on the student. You know what I'm saying? So if student transfers, and like for instance, we talked about the Ohio State thing months back with the guy that ended up quitting on the team and transferred and this and that. And what I'm at the end of the day is kind of like transfer portal, can hurt anybody at any given time. You know what I'm saying? It's a roll of the dice. People transfer for reasons. You know what I'm saying? They might have a network that they want to go to. You know what I'm saying? It's just not the easy way in that aspect, because a lot of people still got to fight and grind just to, be comfortable after a transfer and all that. It's not all sweet.
So we got Daryl. He says, I kind of agree, kind of don't. So what do you think about that, Coach Lee? Do you agree or do you don't, or do you disagree?
Depending on the situation. I think a lot of times the coaches tell these kids what they want to hear to get them with them, to sign with the program. And we know it's a dirty business, man. And a lot of times these kids get over there and it's not what it's cracked up to be. I think we talked about this probably about a month ago. The young man that transferred out to USC with Lincoln Riley, and he was upset because he ain't getting the NIL deals he thought he was going to get.
That part.
All money ain't good money. So yes, Mr. Darrell, I kind of agree and I kind of don't. Same as you said.
So we got Will. He says depends on how good you are. And with that, I agree with Will. I've been agreeing with you quite frequently. Like it's kind of scary. But I mean, because I always go with Devontae Kincaid because he's a guy, and Joe Burrow. Those are two guys that I know, what I'm saying, that had success with this. And the only one that career that I tracked into this whole NIL deal, oh my God, to this transfer portal. So I mean, it's all like you said, it's all on a student. You have to have a grasp for opportunity. And what I'm saying, if you at a situation and and to me, that's when you're betting on yourself. So you go, you're in this you have this opportunity, whatever comes, you might not start, player will get injured, what happens. But if you find a school that's going to, change their scheme or fit your skill set, why not? I think it's a successful opportunity, this whole transfer portal. And I think just like with anything, if you don't use it properly or, ignorance of how to use it, it's going to fail every time. So I think, just people just using that transfer portal inappropriately. I don't know.
Daryl said Cam had to transfer in order to shine. I got promised the world at UNC and got duped. You're going to tell us a little bit more about that one day.
Facts.
Bro, Williams up there duping folks. I believe it. Kawan said coaches will lie to get you and then switch up. So it's a double-edged sword. That's true.
Yeah. I mean, but that's but still you getting the opportunity. So I mean, that's anything. If you get a job and you start underperforming, they're gonna switch it up on you too. So I don't know where all this false sense of security is coming in. All these higher expectations are coming from these universities.
And this part I agree with. If you are number one, but you're behind another number one, sometimes you got to transfer.
That's that exactly. Because and I fell short in baseball. I was really good in baseball, and I did not want to sit behind a senior because I was too pig-headed and bull. I like, screw it, and I should have stayed there. But in those situations, what?
That exactly, because you don't know. You can be like, I don't want to be next to this number one guy, but y'all can benefit of each other. But you're not thinking that. It's all process. Right. It's all process thing. Like some people transfer because it's like at the end of the day, my shine. Then you go to another. It's not like and then that team shining with somebody else playing the role of the role you should have played, and then they go hoop and ball. It's a bit so, man. It's what you want to do. This is why you're given the choice, and maybe you're given the opportunity, but that's all on you.
That is true. So let's get Quan Bagley's statement up here. He says, my boy, I'm going to just say Spicer, because
Averill Spicer?
Yeah, got promised the world at USC, and Pete ruined his career.
Sneaky Pete. I believe it. Sneaky Pete.
Wow.
You know them boys out there cheating out there at USC.
Hey, I'm a Reggie Bush fan, and I see no problems.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna throw y'all a curveball for this last segment tonight because I felt like we couldn't be on the O.T.S.B.S show and not talk about this story that hit this morning. And y'all know where I'm headed. I think Two had a nickname for him. He called him Deshaun Cosby.
Oh, Cosby Watson, baby.
And yes, we got to talk about Mr. Watson. So it came out. I believe we talked about this last week, maybe before last. He came out this morning. He was given a 6-game suspension for the NFL's conduct rule. And I kind of saw that because I think I equated to the same thing that Zeke got. Something that happened in college. It didn't really happen while he was in the league. It didn't happen while he was, quote unquote, on the clock. And that was the parameter that they had. So it was consistent. He got the same 6-game suspension as Zeke got.
Wait, so make sure I'm following. So was Deshaun Watson still under contract for the Houston Texans? Exactly. So what we got? Quan Bagley said Deshaun Cosby.
Oh wow. I like that one.
Oh wait, the massage chair menace. Oh man.
You know what? That's the most accurate one. That dude was a menace. Let's just call it what it is, man. My man is freaky. At the end of the day, it's certain things he liked. It was a business arrangement, so he thought. One little crack in that dam came out and the flood opened up and they just jumped on it.
All the racial guys in this world, man. This was a big one today. Deshaun got a W for himself. He got a W over a prestige organization in the NFL when the owners are particularly white. And then basically what Will summed it up, man, the consistency and the punishment of the NFL. That at some point is going to have to get rerouted in the next NFLPA meeting or agreement stage because, goddamn, what y'all did today was like, I feel like, and it's not to be an ass, but when you give punishments out and you keep giving the same punishments out, and you know damn well it should be more games. At some point, you're gonna have somebody eat the sword. At some point, somebody in the NFL is gonna eat it. So my advice for everybody in the NFL right now: don't get in trouble. As hard as that sounds, somebody's gonna get in trouble. And somebody's gonna get 12 games, 14 games, because what Deshaun got was an early Christmas gift, along with that guaranteed money he just got. Shout out to Deshaun.
Yeah, I mean, but there's still time. You know, the NFL has 3 days to actually appeal it. So I mean, and you know, shout out to Judge Robinson.
They're not appealing. They're not appealing it. I'll tell you why they're not appealing it.
It's Roger Goodell, man. I mean, you got to look at how. Well, let me say this. So, are there female NFL referees now?
Yes.
Exactly. Are there NFL women coaches, staff?
Yes.
And the NFL is a business. So what signal is he saying? What signal is the NFL showing with this 6-game suspension?
They're showing that the NFL
to their women, not to their women. What statement is this showing? That these men can just come in like that the NFL supports this type of behavior?
The key in this one is that a lady decided on the ruling.
Yeah, that is true.
And I think that's where the NFL is going to slide off this and appeal it because if they do appeal it, then you bring all the backlash that comes along with not only bringing this back up in the Sean Watson's case, but you get everything else that's been with it before. And I don't think they want to deal with that, so they're going to try to say, hey, don't be the next one. Because you're the next one, it's going to be more than 6 games.
But you got to look at the timing of everything. Like right now, in the beginning, when like if you just look at how strategically everything was placed, the media threw out, 8 day, 8 games. Well, first they said 1 year, right? Then they said 8 games. You know what I'm saying? Then everything started dwindling. So people's opinion started changing about this whole situation. And, I'm going to circle back around to all the past penalties. You got to look at the time, back then, just like with Ray Rice, he had this thing, with the women. How many other sexual, women assault cases they had at that point? The NFL was plagued with those, cases. Just like, when they had Josh Gordon with weed, they was striking down on PEDs and all these other, chemical performance enhancing drugs at that time. So I mean, it's different times. So I get it. And like right now with these millennials, and it's about public perception because once again, the NFL is a business. So I think I seen a statement about they don't care about their women. Yes, they do. They got a Me Too movement. And women rule the world right now. I think Beyonce said it. Women rule the world, something like that. But
Beyonce album out now, man, on iTunes and all music platforms.
That is true. And you can also check us out on all podcast platforms.
Every day. Pick us first, and then Beyonce. You know what I'm saying?
That part. So Anthony says the NFL don't care about females now. If it's weed, yes. Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of places now that have light weed laws. And shit, I was just about to say that. Shout out to Canada because they got they got cannabis laws out there in the CFL. So I mean, right now the world is loosening up on this whole weed thing, man. Like, shout out to you two. You was like, Josh Gordon was the punishment of that moment. You know what I'm saying? So right now, yes, I think hey, he might get a slap on the wrist. But Alvin Kamara might not. You know what I'm saying? Deshaun Watson might get a pass on this, but someone's going to have to pay for all this public opinion. But I don't think, I do think that the NFL might pick it up just because right now it's women.
They're not going to pick it up. They're not going to pick it up. I don't think they're going to pick it up. If somebody else would have ruled in favor in this, boom. But what I come down to is, what can they really do? If they would have gave Deshaun more games than the 6, then it would have been an uproar. You know what I'm saying? And Deshaun's team would have appealed it. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that you still haven't changed your rule. Until the NFL changes their rule that says suspensions are going to be more lengthier, then there's going to be 6 games all the time, and they can just slap a 6-game suspension on the wrist of any player. Ben Roethlisberger, I see in the comment, Ben Roethlisberger got 6 games, and it was reduced to 4.
For actual rate.
What time was this? Everyone,
2010.
Everyone, it's like, it's funny. It's like having a conversation with a woke person and we talk about racism and they compare the times to, the civil rights movement or, during segregation. Those are different times, bro. TikTok was not out during them times. So it just strikes me crazy when when the first thing they say, oh, well, Roethlisberger got away with rape. Yeah. And you know what? At one point we thought Santa Claus was a black man. I mean, what is the point? So I don't know about that. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's an arbitrary and to your point, what you made about, hey, and I think like that was a play just to save face by having a woman judge. And that shows once again that they care about what, women
as office politics.
Exactly.
Exactly. But that's the inconsistency because we stated earlier that Goodell can add more to it if he chooses to. He got too much power, man. Goodell has too much power.
So Darryl says, wait, Santa isn't black? That's funny, bro. Yeah, Quad Bagley says optics. Agreed. And I think like that's the time we're in right now, because guess what? A lot of people that was in the NFL on the NFL commissioning team during that whole Ray Rice situation, they remember that. They remember that time, and the NFL was frowned upon. And you know what followed that? The cap situation. So the NFL took years of rebuilding their brand. So, and then right after that, they lost Papa John's. So yes, it's all about optics and face.
All about optics and face. Definitely about optics and face. And this generation after this, they're going to get a bunch of backlash for the way they handled the suspension. But at the same time, they got to go into it. Similar with the NBA and how they want to give contracts and pick clause on it. They're going to have to go into the next agreement, bargaining agreement, whatever, and then decide what they want to do. This is what it potentially is going to become in the NFL, and for things to stick or for suspensions to be longer. And I argue with a few people, from family members to friends on social media in a nice way today in regards to the Deshaun Watson situation. Everybody that has a crime on them in any league, they should be suspended. They should be acquitted. I'm a Kobe Bryant fan. Kobe Bryant got hit with the Denver rape magic and all that. At that time, hey, you know what I'm saying? I thought Kobe should have had time suspended too. I'm not a black and white guy. People say, oh, well, Ben Roethlisberger got this and that. At the same time, dude, they all deserve to get the rap. They all deserve to be dealt with. And at the end of the day, Deshaun deserved 12 games, 14 games for what he did. The Houston Texans is still, Houston's paying his lawsuits. They're paying the hush money for the people. For him. Meanwhile, he's in Cleveland and he gets to keep that. But guess what? He got to keep $76.6 million in his pocket because he's going to be ended up paying for the rest of them, rather it's now or later.
Now I'm gonna tell you what I do believe will kick Roger Goodell and NFL to do something, because if these fans, like I say, this is a business, and it's a business that's trying to rebrand and get their momentum back. So if just how shout out to Deshaun Watson, he was at training camp and the fans love this guy. You know what I'm saying? So he still have local fans. While the media is tearing his name up, all throughout, all on all media outlets, he had fans. Now, if the Browns organization can keep those victims from protesting at the stadium or at their games, I believe he can possibly slide by. But I think it'll be triggered by those fans of the victims.
I agree with that, man. It's gonna be some heat. They're not gonna let up. But then again, Cleveland may not care. They got a franchise quarterback.
That is true.
The study film.
And like I say, shout out to Steve Harvey, who was at the Emmys and called it the Oscars, or one of them. I'm a fan of no publicity is bad publicity, and the Browns have been plastered all over the TV, so they're getting people talking about them. So I'm pretty sure they're selling jerseys, they're selling something.
And they're selling Deshaun Watson merchandise. They ain't selling nothing else Browns. And it's sad for Myles Garrett, because this is a man that is a cornerstone for this football team. And the way the Browns are being heard just by this guy, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about Myles Garrett a little bit. If you're going to have the Browns on TV, talk about one of the best defensive ends in football. Talk about him. But the Browns are making this petty money over a guy that we ain't even seen in uniform yet. How about if he comes out here and he's a big bust for this team? $200 million bust. Matter of fact, I'm going to speak on this right now. And I like Baker Mayfield so much that I'm going to say this. The Browns are doomed.
Oh, that's a big claim there, sir.
Tim Couch and all them can sit still on their couch because they have another quarterback come in this organization and do absolutely nothing with the franchise. Baker's done the most with the franchise. I'm going to say that on the limb. You know why? Because Deshaun Watson, so like everybody, this is the thing I always said about Deshaun Watson. He's like, what's the guy's name, man? McCaffrey. He's like McCaffrey on the Panthers, you know? He has a good play, and then mediocre. Then he has a good play. He's the original GTS guy. When his team's down 40, he leads the Deshaun Watson. Listen, man. He's just an overrated stats guy, quarterback that, you know, got his way with the Houston Texans, had a decent what I'm seeing this right now is, the Browns might have got their franchise quarterback, but they ain't gonna lead to nothing but poor sadness and brown paper bags and distress. You know what I'm saying? Because what's the most he can do? Do you think Deshaun Watson's gonna get this team to a Super Bowl?
Yes.
With this team that he has constructed? Hell no.
He had the top running game, man.
Where's the receivers at on his side? The receivers in Houston were better.
Where were the receivers in Houston?
Houston didn't have the receivers?
No.
Houston had the receivers?
No. They had I had the receivers. They had one guy. I mean,
D-Hop wasn't there?
Come on, bro. That's one guy. D-Hop, yeah, that's good. He's good.
D-Hop, Will Fuller for 8 games.
You add Will Fuller, that's what I had. And he was just a fly route. That was it.
I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. Somebody gotta fall off the boat. One of these men gonna fall off the net, and I ain't letting my man Lamar fall off the boat. Deshaun Watson gonna fall off the boat. He got treated nice right now. At the end of the day, Lamar's still gonna be standing, and Deshaun Watson gonna fall off that boat. I'm letting y'all know that right now. That's
an HSO, buddy.
Deshaun Watson got a blessing from the Lord. He better be happy that he got that blessing because all those women, 65 women, 36 of them came up and said something. I best believe somebody
65.
else. 65 women. 65? 65.
That dude got a problem.
65.
That man likes variety.
But wait, but listen, but we're saying this, and you know, and this is what I be trying to highlight about athletes that everyone try to overlook. Jameis Winston. All these guys getting slapped on the wrist. All this is falling by the wayside. So I'm just saying. So the NFL, the NCAA football players has a history of this type of behavior. And you know what it does? It gets rewarded. It gets overlooked. I'm just saying.
Man.
It's crazy. Deshaun Watson, and I don't mean no disrespect to you, man. You are a talented quarterback and all that. But goddamn, 65 women, man. 65.
They'll say he far away from a true milestone.
Far away. Definitely. 70.
James stole crab legs. Oh,
Not
man. Hey, it's the same thing, man. You steal it.
Y'all couldn't do it tonight, man.
Oh, 69. I see what you did, man. 69.
Oh, boy, they are cutting up tonight. Y'all go to the corner, man. Y'all cutting up tonight. Deshaun's lazy boy massage chair.
Models coming to his crib. Deshaun, man. Sean Cosby. Where the Jello at? Where the Jello at?
Women. I knew it was in the 30s. It's double. That's
Yo,
crazy.
if he becomes a new sponsor man for Jello at any point in his life, I'm doing it entire myself.
The only thing I will say, I'm looking at Deshaun's stats compared to how we open up the Tonight Show with Kyler Murphy. They are superior. I'll say that much. They are superior. I mean, in December, he's of a career, 18 touchdowns to 6 interceptions and a one-on-one passer rating. And I think Kyler was like an 86 passer rating.
Yeah, that
So
makes sense.
I don't know, man. But then again, he can't get in too much trouble up in Cleveland, though. It's
Sean Elmo Watson.
There you go, right there. The tank tickler. And it's sad as I see him out there working, as you know, they're going around to different camps and whatnot. The only thing I can think in my mind is he like women to play with the starfish, man.
What the hell? You changed this into SpongeBob SquarePants? Oh, and I want to say Jameis Winston had sexual assault allegations in 2013 at Florida State. So that's what I was talking about. Just FYI.
Oh, some crab legs?
Yeah. No, for some crab legs. Yeah.
Oh, and he was touching a girl in the Uber, right?
So, that's right.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Don't be trying to fact check me like I'm Rondo and I'm talking about my players, man. Get out of here.
That is your player.
Hey, only for this moment. Only because
this is 30 for 30.
It's still big play tape.
He was out here like this. No.
Man.
Woo, that's fun tonight, fellas.
Facts. I mean, but wait, I didn't see the dancing poop emoji. We still got to get that guy in.
Oh, well, you know what? Hold on.
Oh,
it's a damn pooping emoji called 2 slid that on me. 65 women? That's some straight up bull. Man, that boy needs some help.
Oh man, that's funny.
Man. That man needs some help.
Somebody said to me today, "What's wrong with wanting a happy ending?" Do you guys find anything wrong with having a happy ending?
It costs you.
It cost him. It cost him his reputation. Man, how can you in that locker room? Everybody's gonna look at him like he like his dude he played with.
Say, bro. That's gonna be the only locker room. Everybody coming in fully dressed.
Fully dressed. But hey, why you worry about that? You need to be worried about Carson Wentz.
Yeah, worry about somebody. Did somebody just retire from that football team?
Probably.
The Commanders.
Somebody that need to. Y'all gonna have a new coach after this year too. Book it.
Look, you know what? They need to throw it. I should have got. You know what? I'm putting a toilet bowl flushing drop on it for the next show.
Facts.
Because the Commanders, they need to throw their whole. It's the Detroit Lions on Hard Knocks, but the Commanders need to throw their whole organization away for that name, them allegations. Like they could have kept it as the what the fucks. Sorry. Well, Washington football team. That Commanders just sound like dun, 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 like G.I. Joe. Like, yeah, I can't take y'all serious.
Well, this is all I got to say for all them people who jumping on Deshaun back, talking about he did this, he doing that. I ain't never going to another game. Y'all have that same energy with these Washington allegations that are out there.
Oh.
And the stories that are out there. Y'all keep that same smoke. Because if it goes to court, which the NFL don't want it to, Gruden get it to court, everything will come out.
I wonder how much they paid RG3. I wonder how much they paid RG3 to keep hush, because RG3 is supposed to come out with a series of things surrounding the Washington franchise, and they ended up not being able to. And I want to know how much hush money that he got. And I want to know somebody's going to be next to give all this away. I hope it's John Gruden's ass.
Oh, they all Snyder. Kawhi said Dan Snyder been a creep. Patrick said fire Snyder.
He was trying to pay women to give extra favors to customers and clients. That's creepy shit.
Yeah, you know what? Shout out to Clinton Portis. I don't know if y'all seen his podcast, but he used to talk about how this was back when Clinton Portis was there. Like, and you know what? Like, yeah. It was popping. It was popping. Like, yeah.
Yeah, they were sipping that drink.
Exactly. That's what Clinton Portis was talking about. Yeah. So I guess the time it's the hardest part of the day, right? We got to say our goodbyes.
Yeah, man. Man. Salute to y'all, man. I'm gonna start the shout out. Salute to y'all tonight. Y'all did y'all damn thing, man. Y'all was in there clowning. Y'all interacted with the crew. Appreciate that. Bring that same energy night in and night out. Get your study on. Don't be Kyler Murray.
Absolutely.
Man, I'm a little scared, man. You said you started clapping your hands. That came from down below.
Yes, it's almost time. Now we got football this week, baby.
That is true. And
Football
you know what?
is starting this week,
everybody.
man.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yes,
have
sir.
a watching here in the studio. So shout out to everybody in the group. We're gonna post it in the group. Y'all can come hang out with us, and we're gonna do a show. Welcome back to football. We're gonna do a Thursday night show. We're gonna have a Thursday night viewing. So definitely give a shout out to everybody that's gonna be coming in, hanging out with us in the studio out here in Arlington, Texas. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat, man. We appreciate that. Y'all come back. We miss y'all. Like your grandma say, y'all come back here now. I got some food for y'all. Got a pork chop sandwich. Y'all just make it on back for tomorrow, Tuesday, the Sports Chatter Show, where we talk about the trending topics in our Facebook group. So definitely give a shout out to the family. Appreciate my baby. You know what I'm saying? Tasha, man, Latasha, she was the first person. She worked today. So definitely give a shout out to my baby. She's doing big things. Appreciate that, baby. And my daughter, her birthday is August 3rd, and she's going to New York, man. So I'm a little nervous about that. But that's all I got, man. Appreciate y'all. Check us out on Spotify, Apple iTunes, and y'all can Google us. Check us out anytime. That's all I got, man. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with us. What you got there, too?
Shout out, you know how it is. Shout out to every time, uptown, downtown. I want to give a shout out to my cousin Kara. It's her birthday today. She's 34. Just remember that you're younger than me. I'm big cousin. And shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to everybody that commented, everybody that participated tonight, everybody that shows love on a daily basis. Don't stop showing that love. It's only gonna get more intense, more fire here. So follow along, and as well, all streaming platforms. Whenever you put your headphones on to, whatever app you do, you better type in Sports Talk with Friends podcast and tune in. If you ain't tuned in tonight. Because we're going to be all on you goddamn pages and all over your social media platform, baby, all that. We coming, oh yeah.
Like that, okay, with the Randy Macho Man Randy Savage. Till tomorrow, baby. Tap in, Sports Chatter Show. This is O.T.S.B.S. show. We're in the loop.
Yeah.
In the group.